After a week of watching hours upon hours of gameplay, here's what I love about Fallout 76. Hey Vault Dwellers, JV here, and today I'm sharing 5 things I love about Fallout 76. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more Fallout 76 videos just like this. Before we hop in, big thanks to CamoWorks for his unedited gameplay. He went to the Greenbrier event and has allowed me to use his footage, so check out his channel linked in the description below. It's no secret that a lot of people got to play Fallout 76 this past weekend as part of the Xbox One stress test. According to Bethesda's social media accounts, there may be future stress tests that might take place on other platforms, maybe when the Xbox One enters beta on the 23rd. Of course, by participating in the stress test, you agreed to a non-disclosure agreement. I participated too, so I'm not going into any details about what I played specifically. However, we do have so much gameplay out in the wild from the event that it's possible to form our own opinions. So, from all of the Greenbrier footage, here are the 5 things I loved about Fallout 76. First is solo play. Coming from a single-player RPG franchise, a lot of the conversation has swirled around not being able to enjoy this game solo. I've watched enough gameplay to realize that's just not true. It's not the case. Just because co-op is possible doesn't mean it's necessary, nor is it mandatory. As we've seen, you can absolutely flip on pacifist mode after level 5, which turns off your ability to shoot other players. That gives you a 0% chance to instigate a PvP encounter, though you can still be murdered. The thing is, we didn't see a lot of that. The game world looks so massive that you're not going to be running into players constantly. Now, we did see large groups of players in similar areas towards the beginning of the game, and I think we should expect that. If there's a mainline path with, tracking down the Overseer, then people are going to be in the same areas. But again, that's why PvP is disabled until level 5. A lot of the game's event quests seem to draw players towards central locations. Same goes with the public workshops, which can be claimed and contested by player groups. These are completely optional, as the bulk of what you do in this game is central to you and your character alone. You're questing, you're killing, you're looting, you're finding and listening to holotapes, you're reading notes, you're gathering resources, crafting items, messing with perk cards. Literally nothing I just described in that list requires another player. That's Fallout. That's what we've grown to love, and that's what you do in Fallout 76. The next thing I love is the world, the environment. From what I've seen, I simply love what we have in Fallout 76, and I can't wait to explore it myself. Todd wasn't kidding when he hopped on stage at Bethesda's E3 conference, I was there in the crowd, and claimed that the game has 16 times the detail of Fallout 4. We know that Bethesda took a more colorful route to art direction for the Commonwealth, which honestly looked fantastic in its own right for what they were trying to do. The Appalachia is just gorgeous. Walking through the forests and taking in the fall colors looks absolutely incredible. Now, there's absolutely a frame rate issue, which I'm going to dive into tomorrow, but I'm hoping things will improve in that department. Simply put, it looks incredible just wandering this wasteland. That's not something we could say about Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. It wasn't even a consideration. In fact, most of the criticism for those games was around how green or orange or downright dull they looked. That is not the case this time around, and I'm so happy that we're going to actually enjoy what we're looking at in this game. The next thing I love is the junk economy. Finding and collecting junk, repurposing that junk into something useful for your character. Everything seems to revolve around looting, and I love that. Bethesda games have always incorporated looting into the core gameplay loop. That's a convention that we just understand about their games. But it's even more important this time around. The system in Fallout 76 was largely in place for 4. The idea that everything you pick up can be broken down into individual components that you could then repurpose into something useful. If you want to build, your settlement, your camp, or you want to mess around with your items, you can do that, and all of that is useful to you. But now, since weapons and armor have condition meters, we'll need to have a constant supply of junk in order to repair our items. Instead of using copies of items to repair like we did in Fallout 3, we use junk, and from what I've seen, this system works perfectly. Everything has a purpose, and I love that. Next up, I love the perk card system. The general consensus around our community and from those who went to the Greenbrier event is that the perk card system is great. It gives tons of flexibility as to what you want to do with your character at any given moment. It doesn't lock you into a particular playstyle, and it encourages experimentation. This isn't a popular decision, and I will admit that I do miss the tried and true RPG method of planning from the very start, choosing I want to be this kind of character, and then seeing it through to the end. The issue is that this game is live service, and from Bethesda's own words, it's meant to be played for a very, very long time. I don't know how you can expect players to commit to long-term decisions in a games as a service game, where updates may change the balancing or events may force players to reprioritize their thinking with their characters. When a game is constantly evolving, there's gotta be a way to evolve with it. So Bethesda opted for a more flexible system that also gives us even more choice over what we can do with our perks. It's actually insane to think about the ridiculous combinations we can pull off now, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into the system. It's great that we don't have to invest, a billion points into one category in order to get the really strong effects of a perk. We haven't seen all of the perk cards, and there's supposed to be hundreds in this game, so I just really can't wait to see all of them. The fifth thing I love is the item levels and progression system. Now, this is not something that everyone will agree with, and I know Maddie and Camel in particular have said that they don't like it, but I appreciate the progression of items in this game. In Fallout 76, items have inherent levels. For example, I can have a level 1 pipe pistol, but also a level 5 pipe pistol. The level 5 will be stronger no matter what. This means 1, you'll probably never find a single item that you'll use for hundreds of hours, and 2, you'll be finding items above your level that you can't use yet. Many creators have said that they've found weapons far beyond their level and were upset that they couldn't use them at the event. That's not something we expect in a Fallout game, but I welcome and even encourage this decision. We have to remember that in live service games, you're not meant to find a god tier weapon and use it for the next several hundred hours. You're not meant to find the Gauss rifle at level 10 and never touch another weapon. There's supposed to be a constant progression. Your stuff is going to need to be upgraded. I also appreciate having items to look forward to, like finding a level 35 minigun at level 10 and then throwing it in my stash for safekeeping. Then over the next several hours, I can start to grab perks like Heavy Gunner and work towards that minigun build. Constantly striving towards a goal, something in front of you, is necessary in a game that's going to constantly evolve. So I think this decision just makes sense and I welcome it. Tomorrow, I'm going to share a few things about 76 that I really don't like from the gameplay I've seen, and of course, there's going to be a fair amount of that as well. In the comment section, tell me what you love about what you've seen from Fallout 76 so far. Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe and hit the bell for more Fallout 76 content, like my last video where we talk about boss enemies. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.